Don't ever say that I'm available 24/7. Instead, say you can always count on me to work hard and produce high quality work, but I also need to make sure I can take care of my personal life, allowing me to be fully here when I'm working.
If you tell people I'm available 24/7, they will contact you 24/7. You need to have a work-life balance, and people will exploit.
So don't be just coming to your boss with a whole bunch of problems. Come to your boss with a problem, but options of solutions to fix it.
This is an Unsolicited Perspectives YouTube exclusive.
Jay, I read an article recently. It's the 12 Things You Should Never Say to Your Boss. It's by Erica Sweeney from Good Housekeeping. Now, we're not going to go through all 12 things. I just grabbed some of the most pertinent things.
Yes.
But the article outlines key phrases and statements that employees should avoid saying to their boss in order to maintain professionalism, build trust, and foster a positive working relationship. These phases often come as dismissive, uncooperative, or unprofessional and can harm career growth or workplace dynamics. For each problematic statement, the article also suggests an alternative way of saying it.
Yeah.
So we talked about it on the podcast about you saying, hey, don't make yourself so available. And that's the very first thing.
Yeah.
Don't ever say that I'm available 24/7. Instead, say you can always count on me to work hard and produce high quality work, but I also need to make sure I can take care of my personal life, allowing me to be fully here when I'm working. This lets your boss know that you're dedicated and motivated, but that you also need time to recharge to deliver your best.
Yeah, it's absolutely so important. If you tell people I'm available 24/7, they will contact you 24/7. You need to have a work-life balance, and people will exploit you if you act like you don't need to have a work-life balance. It's okay to say, hey, I'm here for you Monday through Friday from this time to this time. But then after that, I'm off the clock and I have to have my personal time because I like to keep my work and my personal life separate. I don't let my personal life affect my work, and I can't let my work affect my personal life. And you have to draw that clear boundary.
Yeah, but don't say it like Jay just said it. Say it like Erica Sweeney told you to say it.
Say it like Erica said it, but just know that they understand that the context of what you're saying is exactly what I said.
Yeah, but just say it nicer than what Jay said.
I need to have that boundary. I'm here, and you can always count on me to work hard. And I'm here, but my personal life also is a priority to me as well.
Another thing not to say to your boss, this is not my job.
Mm-hmm.
Boundary at work is a must, but saying this will make you seem dismissive or uncooperative. It could suggest that you lack flexibility and you're not interested in helping your team. Instead, try this. I'm not familiar with that process, but I'm willing to learn if you need me to. Would you like me to take this on, or should we pull someone else with more expertise? This reinforces your commitment to the team, but also expresses that the task is outside of your usual responsibilities.
And hey, don't forget that if they're asking you to learn something, to upskill in some way, to learn something new, and to take on additional responsibilities, have that conversation of, in addition to now my role is transforming, are we going to talk about compensation to match the new responsibilities that I'm taking on?
Yeah, because I ain't working for free.
Because a lot of times when people say that's not my job, it's because I'm not getting paid to do that. I'm not getting paid to do that. And so, but you can't, that's another thing you can't say, I'm not getting paid to do that. Because it just looks like you're just coming there to do, you are just coming there to do what they pay you to do, but you can't say that. So if just know that if they want you to take this on, as opposed to pulling somebody else in who has more experience or whatever, if they want you to take this on, absolutely, I can do that. However, we need to talk about reevaluating my compensation to match this new role and responsibilities.
There you go. Another thing you shouldn't say to your boss, I need you to fix this problem. Taking every problem to your boss to solve makes you seem less reliable and lacking in problem solving skills. Presenting problems without offering potential solution adds unnecessary stress to your boss's plate and worsens decision fatigue.
Yes.
Say instead, I'm having an issue with blank. I'd like to run a few ideas by you for how we can solve it. This suggests solutions, demonstrates innovation and accountability. So don't be just coming to your boss with a whole bunch of problems. Come to your boss with a problem, but options of solutions to fix it.
Yeah, that, and you should be doing that in every part of your life. Don't just complain about your problems. Offer solutions to your problem. Like, offer solutions. That should be a part of literally every part of your life. But yeah, your boss's job is not to just put out fires all day, and it can result in decision fatigue when they're constantly having to solve problems and make decisions and make choices, and it starts to wear on you a little bit. So just, yeah, when you have a problem with something, approach them with possible solutions that they can, or roads that they can take. And, they'll ultimately make whatever decision they feel is best. Sometimes they'll say, hey, I think you've got some great ideas. I'll leave it up to you. And then you can go ahead and fix your problem. But um, always come with solutions to stuff, or else you're just complaining.
As somebody who manages people and is technically their boss, I always tell people that come to me with multiple problems, I say, okay, I hear what you're saying. It is an issue that we need to address. And then I also tell them, it's also an issue that is extremely important to you right now.
Mhm.
I'm looking at the macro. I'm looking at the big picture. And not saying that this isn't important, but I got 17 of the fires that I got to put out here before I get to yours.
Right.
So yes, coming to me with solutions so I can quickly resolve this issue is way better than just saying you need to fix this.
Yeah.
If you matter of fact, you come to me with you need to fix this, what I'm gonna fix is your employment with the company.
Right.
That's what I'm gonna fix.
Right.
And the fixing will be you're not gonna be with us for much longer.
Yeah.
Because you ain't gonna come to me with a whole bunch of problems all the damn time.
Yeah, it's okay to manage up in that situation. And by managing up, I mean coming to your boss with a problem, with solutions. Hey, here's some things that you could possibly do so that we can resolve this. That's managing up. Most people think about managing down, boss down to an employee, but you can manage up, you can manage out to your peers. There are various ways of managing, and that's a situation where you would manage up.
Another thing you shouldn't say to your boss, we can't do that. Shutting down ideas shows resistance to challenges. So instead, say, this might be difficult to accomplish based on our current resources and timeline, but I'm happy to explore ways to make it work. It's more constructive and cooperative to highlight specific concerns and suggest ways to manage these issues or to adjust priorities. So don't just say, hey, we can't be doing all that. Just say, all right, well, this is an idea. Let's try and figure out ways that we can do this, because right now we don't have the resources or the time to do this. I'm notorious for back when we would run public classes, coming up with new class ideas. And then some of the instructors would be like, okay, like this is great to add this to the schedule. Things are pretty tight as it is. And I was like, yeah, but we can always expand. Like, we're expanding pretty fast, probably faster than we should, because we have a wait list of 10 people that can't get into the classes that we're already offering. That's the reason why we should offer more. Yeah, but like, where are we going to fit the time? And so I would have these ideas, and certain people would pull me aside and say, okay, how is this going to work?
Yeah.
And I'd be like, oh, I didn't think that part through.
This is probably the only one where I don't 100% agree.
Okay.
Sometimes the answer is no. Like, sometimes the answer is no. Sometimes I don't like the adding of the caveat, but I'm happy to explore ways to make it work, because sometimes your boss or your coworkers or something, they come to you with an idea and the answer is that's just not feasible. And there is no ways to explore how to make it work. Like, that's not feasible with our current resources, our timeline, or things like, it's just not feasible. So sometimes the answer is no. If there is a way to make it work, then I guess, you can say that. But like, I wouldn't leave the door open if the answer is actually no, we don't have the resources to do that.
Right. We but the key to this is don't say we can't do that.
Right.
Be better.
Yeah.
Be better in your vocabulary.
It's okay to say, that's a great idea. If we had the resources and the timeline to make that work, I think that would be amazing. But right now we don't have that. But let's, put a pin in it for the future. Maybe Q2, Q3, we can take a look and reevaluate whether or not we can make something like that work. That's okay to say, but essentially what you're saying is no, or not right now, or no. You know what I'm saying?
The final one that we're going to do, but there's more. Go to the article and check it out and read all 12 of them. I believe that there was
12. Yeah.
But the final one that we're going to do is gossiping about coworkers. Did you hear about so-and-so? Gossiping undermines professionalism and trust. Instead, if you go and gossip, I'm concerned about blank. If you have a legitimate concern about a coworker, Walker says to bring it up, just keep the discussion professional and constructive. You should avoid speculation, stick to the facts, and focus on solutions rather than on gossip. Like if so-and-so is, I don't know, I don't work in the corporate world, but like what's me, I'm messy. So I would be like, so-and-so banging so-and-so in the coffee room during break time.
Right. But is that a legitimate concern? Like, is that
it is
not so secret relationship? Right. They might think it's secret, but everybody in the office know. Is that not so secret relationship? Is that something we should discuss in the office, or should we go to happy hour and talk about that later? Like, you got to think about where you are and what you say, because it does undermine your professionalism, but building trust in your working relationships is so, so important. And if people can't trust that they can come to you with an issue, especially if you're in leadership, if people can't trust that they can come to you with an issue or a problem and it stay between you and them. Like, I had a boss one time, horrible lady, horrible. And she was talking about something that I had brought to her in confidence on the floor in front of other people to another manager. At the time, my younger brother and I, we worked at the same company. He overheard it. Came to my desk hot that she's having a conversation about what I had brought to her in private. So again, I did not approach her in front of everybody. I asked to speak to her in private, and I said, look, you're going to have a really difficult time earning back my trust as my leader. If you have something to discuss with me about my performance or something, we need to discuss it in private. I don't appreciate you having these conversations on the floor. Like, gossiping and things like that. Once I lost that trust and respect for her, it was over. It was over. So you really want to, and you also don't want to put yourself in a position where you're the one being gossiped about. Do your best to leave your private stuff at the door when you come to work.
And ladies and gentlemen, those are just a few of things not to say to your boss. I hope you listening and learning, because if you're not, you ain't gonna have no job soon.
Join the conversation and follow the Unsolicited Perspectives podcast on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your audio podcasts.